a quick update on the Fed and how that provided some certainty in the investment market. Stay tuned. So here we are again talking about the Fed, right? But the market really looks to the Fed to get some certainty in some direction. And the interesting thing that came out and was in the news was Fed Chair Jerome Powell came out and essentially said, hey, look, the bond buying program that we've been doing, we're going to speed that up. So we're going to finish that. And it looks like they may end up increasing rates 3 times, soft increases 3 times sometime in 2022, which was actually a really big deal. And the big reason that they cited this change of policy was because of inflation. So again, interest rates are a nice tool to utilize to quash inflation. And so what you saw was the reaction, number one, from the markets, and what you may see going forward will be most likely some increase in interest rates. So what does that mean for you as a consumer? Well, the biggest one will be around home prices, right? Getting new mortgages or refinancing will most likely not be as cheap as it has been this year or will be for a while again. Right, I spoke about that in my real estate predictions when we went over Redfin's predictions, but it looks like that might come to fruition next year. So if you're still thinking about refinancing or buying a house, now is essentially the time to do it before some of those rates start to tick up. Now, if you have a HELOC, home equity line of credit, and it's adjustable, that may change as well because that's based on what's known as the prime rate. And so you may see some of that increase on your HELOC due to some of the increase in the interest rates. Now, just because they're raising interest rates doesn't mean that the economy is in a really poor position, right? We still look to unemployment rate, which is really good. We still look to the amount of jobs that are open, right? The wages are looking to increase. You'll see your Social Security increase next year, along with Medicare, which I've spoken about. Right, so all these things still speak to the economy still in a really pole position. We may not see the rampant growth that we've seen, and although we said that this year about last year, we don't expect the economy to continue to do really well. It may slow down a little bit, but you're not going to see this explosive growth as what we've had in the last couple of years because of some of this tightening. And so what does that mean for your overall portfolio? Well, it just means that we're going to stick to the strategy that we have in place. If you're taking distributions, we want to make sure that we're invested properly so that when the time comes and you need those monthly distributions, we have some money set aside for that. And vice versa. We want to make sure that we're investing in a way that'll grow your assets in your portfolio to sustain you in the long run. Because if we don't have any growth, then essentially we're spending down that principal, which means you're going to run out of money faster. So the other big piece that we still have no resolution on is the Build Back Better program, the one that's been hung up in the Senate for the past however many months. Right, there's still no resolution on that, and that's something that might be pushed along until the next year, as nothing seems to be getting passed. And so as we see things today, taxes remain kind of where they're at. No changes. It appears to be no changes to the 2021 system that we have in place, which just means we're going to look to 2022 to see what maybe gets rejiggered. They've stopped the child tax credit. At least the last payments for the child tax credits are going to run through the end of this year, December, and then after that, they're essentially done. They were talking about keeping that as part of the bill going forward, essentially getting your credit that usually goes on your tax return to come to you during the year. So that's been going out, but that'll most likely end this year and it may not continue on to next year, although they're planning on increasing that as part of the bill. So there you have it. We don't see a lot of big changes coming up here to 2022. It looks like a lot of the legislation is kind of taking a back seat to a lot of the holiday season coming up. Most likely the big investment news will take a back seat to a lot of the 2 holidays coming up. Right, so as we look ahead to 2022, we still see more of the same that we saw in 2021. Relatively nice growth. We don't see unemployment getting too crazy or out of whack. Inflation will most likely be hopefully tapered a little bit due from the Fed making some changes. And overall, we like where the economy sits. So we're going to stick to our long-term strategies in terms of investments. If you have questions around your portfolio and what all that looks like, please reach out to us. Let us know. At the end of the day, we don't see any kind of big recession on the horizon. But of course, there's always something on the lookout or something to be scared of. So if you're feeling afraid or you're feeling scared about where you're invested, how you're invested, again, reach out to us. Let us know how we can walk you through how we're invested and what all that looks like. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Have a very nice holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. And we look forward to seeing y'all again real soon.